Doctors on TV. I'm Dr. Sara Barba-cabodil. And naku, syempre, hindi po kompleto ang episode na ito kung hindi ko makakasama yung co-host ko na sobrang na-miss ko na po, si Dr. Nap Interior. Hi, Doc Nap!
Hi Doc Sara, ako sobrang na-miss kita. Tsaka daming nakamiss din sa'yo na ating mga viewers. Ako, Doc Sara, kanina kasi tinitingnan ko yung itsura ko sa screen natin, no? So parang naka 1 year na tayo eh. Dati kasya pa yung mukha ko ata sa frame, pero ngayon parang lumalaki na ako ng lumalaki. Kamusta ba, Doc Sara?
Ako, teka muna. Kasi parang tinatamaan din ako sa sinasabi mo, no? Parang it's a tie, di ba? So, ako, teka, medyo alam ko na kung saan dadating, saan tutungo tong introduction mo. Pero nako, Doc Nap, no? Bago natin ituloy yung ating pinag-uusapan, gusto ko munang imbitahan ng ating mga viewers. So please like our FB page, Doctors on TV. And don't forget to subscribe to Doctors on TV's YouTube channel and remember to hit the bell para lagi kang updated sa medical information and healthcare tips.
Nako, syempre, you can also watch us through UNTV News and Rescue YouTube channel.
And nako, syempre, kanina, di ba, pinag-uusapan nga natin yung yung ano ba yan, parang feeling ko nililink mo yan dun sa parang paglaki ba? Okay, yung physical appearance, no? But syempre, ito nga, in today's episode, our topic is healthy eating, healthy living. Ibig sabihin, making healthy food choices is an important element in a healthy lifestyle.
Nako, tama ka dyan, Doc Sara. In fact, sa mga nagdaan nating episodes where we talk about immunity boosters and breast cancer, we learn from our guest doctors na napakahalaga ng nutrition for disease prevention and better body functions.
Do you want to transition into a better version of yourself? Start eating healthy. Continue watching and learn the right timing of eating and know the contents of common foods that you know which ones to avoid. Our guest today is Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo. She is a root cause medicine specialist and an advocate of natural health and wellness that comes from within. Dr. Rojo is known as the Diet Doctora and is the most influential low-carb doctor advocate in the Philippines. She also specializes in head and neck surgery and the diseases of the ears, nose, and throat. Welcome to Doctors on TV, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo.
We're excited to hear some advice from a diet expert, a root cause medicine specialist. Let's welcome to the program Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo. Hi, Doc Grace. Welcome to Doctors on TV.
Hi, Doc Grace.
Thank you, Doc Sara and Doc Nap. Good day to everyone. Maraming salamat po for inviting me here.
And ako, syempre, alam namin ako talagang sobrang in demand to si Dr. Grace, di ba? So, but thank you very much also sa pagpapaunlak po dito sa aming imbitasyon, no? At alam natin na napakarami pong matututunan yung ating mga viewers, no? And ito sa panimula po, Doktora, no? Ano nga po ba yung mga specific impacts ng tamang pagkain sa ating kalusugan?
Okay, so you as doctors yourselves, alam natin na what we've studied in medicine is 90% about medications. Kung paano bibigyan ng gamot at lahat-lahat ng yan. But now we are starting to learn na yung pag-underestimate natin ng impact ng pagkain sa ating kalusugan is actually one of the pinakamaling ginawa natin. Now we are starting to see na yung kinakain pala natin has direct impact sa ating kalusugan. Just like yung pinaka-importante, say for example, the most common, diabetes. Where do you think the added sugar comes from? Hindi yan galing sa ating isipan lang o saan lang, but it's mostly coming from the too much sugar na kinakain natin. That is just one basic example, and I know we can discuss more as we go on.
Yun. Doc, kanina medyo na-touch nyo na yung diabetes tsaka yung importance po talaga ng nutrition. Pero Doc, let's say talagang nagkaroon na ako ng hypertension, nagkaroon na ako ng diabetes, maaari bang maibalik ng pagiging healthy lalo na sa pagkain po ng tama or healthy nutrition?
Okay. So, as of this point, kailangan nating ilinawin na we actually provide hope. May pag-asa yung lahat. So, not because na meron ka ng diagnosed as diabetes and hypertension. And I understand na yung napag-aralan natin noon, it's like a life sentence na the moment you're already diagnosed with diabetes and hypertension, wala na. Yun ka na. Ganon ka na forever. Maintenance ka na forever. But now, there is a paradigm shift in fact, nag-release na ng statement. Hindi man siya tinatawag as cure. But when it comes to diabetes, it is considered as remission. So, ibig sabihin, pwede pong mangyari na ang taong may maintenance na for diabetes can actually go on remission. That is identified as like a year na wala ka ng kailangang gamot, and you can keep your food intake just enough to make sure na yung blood sugar level mo at normal level na kahit walang gamot. But provided, of course, tama yung ginagawa mong pagkain, tamang lifestyle, and part of that is wellness. And as per hypertension, it is easily controlled. Madali lang po yung makontrol. And know that with remission, it can go both ways. Hindi ibig sabihin na once you are already on remission, forever ka nang hindi magkakaroon ng diabetes or hypertension. If you go back to your old ways, then expect all of those pagtaas ng blood sugar, pagtaas ng blood pressure will also go back.
Ay, naku, Doc Nab, gusto ko yung words of hope na sinabi Grace, no? Oo. Pero ito muna, no? Syempre, kailangan ma-identify ng ating mga viewers ano ba yung tama na pagkain, ano ba yung hindi. Pero dito ko yung mas gusto ko kasi syempre minsan pag meron nag-i-instill tayo ng healthy dose of fear sa di ba, sa mga pasyente natin, di ba? Alam niyo yan, Doc Nap and Doc Grace. Mas mas parang naku, natatakot ako, sige na nga. Basically iiwasan ko na tong mga ganito. Okay? So, pagdating po sa pagkain, doktora, ano po ba yung mga major threat sa katawan natin?
I like that question, Doc. Kasi nga, yes, no? Sometimes we really have to show na kailangan matakot tayo. Pero hindi pwedeng we leave them hanging na matakot lang sila. Or else, it's not going to help anybody. That's why, hindi lang po kami nananakot. We also want to provide some practical tips na magagamit talaga on a day-to-day basis. Now, on those threats, I can divide them into two groups. Okay? So, the first group will be the ones directly increasing blood sugar, and the ones that are increasing directly insulin impact, kasi ito yung parang nasumusobra sa ating mga pagkain eh. And the other types of food is not directly relating to blood sugar and insulin, but directly attributing or worsening inflammation in the body. Okay? So, magkaiba sila. Although, they can go both ways. Para silang magkakaroon ng relationship na wherein they worsen each other. Okay? So, ano-ano yung mga pagkain ito? First, anything sweet for the first group. So, lahat ng sugar, and I'm sorry to say, hindi lang po basta white sugar, hindi lang basta brown sugar, included even honey, maple syrup, even cocoa sugar, even muscovado, lahat ng po yan because they are either, kapag sinasabi nilang low glycemic index, yes, that is true. Low ang glycemic index nila kasi mababa yung glucose nila, but what they are not saying is how high is the fructose content. And fructose is another form of natural sugar, but it can directly make your liver go into like somewhat a fatty liver na tulad ng ginagawa ng alcohol. So, fructose is the number one sweetener used sa fraps, milk tea, kung ano-ano mang milk drinks, and kung ano-ano mang mga readily made instant drinks that we have. And the other groups would be the inflammatory groups. So what are these inflammatory groups? They don't have any sugar in them. They don't increase your insulin, but it can lead into direct inflammatory damage sa katawan natin. So these are the bad oils. So the seed oils. So mostly rapeseed oil, rice bran oil, corn oil, sunflower oil. Sadly, included dyan, canola oil, and most vegetable oil. The only vegetable oil that is somewhat okay to be used would be coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, and also what else? Palm oil to some extent. So avoid all of those and the processed foods, especially meat, red meat na processed, okay? Natural red meat, fresh na cut na steak or baka o kung meat ng kalabaw, those are okay. But processed meats, ginawa ng tocino, ginawa ng beef jerky, meron ng lahat-lahat ng preservatives and all of these added chemicals, then those are the ones that are inflammatory. So must be avoided as well.
Sa ating mga manonood, ngayong alam na natin ang mga pagkaing dapat iwasan, syempre, kailangan din nating matutunan kung ano-ano bang mga nakakabuti naman sa ating katawan.
Naku, tama ka dyan, Doc Nap. Kaya pag-uusapan po natin yan sa pagbabalik ng
Doctors on TV.
Welcome back. You're still watching Doctors on TV. We learned earlier that healthy diet can bring about significant positive changes in a person's health. Nako, unang-una po, malaking tulong ito para sa pagme-maintain ng tamang timbang, di ba, Doc Nap?
Naku, Dr. Sara, tinamaan ako dyan sa pag-maintain ng timbang kasi parang pati yung timbang ko pataas na rin ang pataas. No? Pero tanong natin kay Doc Grace kung yung hanging question natin kanina, ano-ano po ba yung paraan ng pagkain na maaaring makatulong sa pagpapaganda po ng kalusugan? Naku, Doc Grace, pwede niyo po ba kaming i-enlighten tungkol po sa low carb at saka po sa intermittent fasting?
And siguro baka pwede rin natin pahapyawan ang keto diet kasi yan ang mga medyo nakikinig natin talaga, yung medyo pinapractice ng ating mga kasamahan.
Okay, so thank you so much for that, doctors. So keto diet, identify lang natin, is a subset of low carb. So yung keto diet, under siya low carb, but mas stricto siya in a sense na sobrang baba na yung kanyang allowance for carbohydrates, which is just 20 grams or less, okay? And yung fat niya na percentage could be as high as 75% ng calorie intake mo. Whereas with low carb, which is what we actually really promote, is hindi yan ganun ka-fix because the proportion ng kinakain when it comes to macronutrients, the proteins, fats, and carbohydrate ratio will be dependent sa health goal ng tao. So that is low carb nutrition. But of course, we try to not go over 50 grams of total carbs in a day. And intermittent fasting, it is when hindi ka kumakain ng unlimited amount on a normal day. So you divide your day in a two window. So, eating window and fasting window. Ibig sabihin, for example, if you're not a breakfast eater, diretso ka na brunch, okay? So, actually, that's good. So, maybe you will eat around 11 in the morning and then you can eat 11 and then kung gusto mo mag-snacks in the middle in the afternoon, you can eat and comes dinner, you can still eat. But generally, we advise a circadian intermittent fasting, which is yung last meal intake mo sa gabi, supposedly, hindi na beyond sundown. Or, kung sa mga naka-night shift, 4 to 6 hours before sleeping. It's good to sleep on an empty stomach. Kung hindi pa makapag-intermittent fasting like early breakfast eater, then eat early breakfast. Mas maraming namamatay na mga tao who are eating late than who are eating early in the morning. Okay? So, better prioritize. If you have to prioritize one, then you can choose to eat earlier at night. Para when you rest, you are really resting and your body is really taking the healing that it needs. Or else, if you don't, 1 hour before, kumain ka kasi ginawa mo, food coma na lang. Pabubusugin ko yung sarili ko para after tulog na lang agad. So when you do that, you are just shutting down your brain, but your body is not healing kasi lahat ng blood flow mo nasa gut mo lang, nasa gastrointestinal system mo lang, not on your body. That's why the moment you wake up in the morning, pagod na pagod ka, masakit yung katawan mo and all that, halos hindi ka nakapagpahinga. Only your muscles got the rest that it needs, but your body was working the whole time digesting your food. So that's the essence of making your food intake really earlier before your bedtime. And the practice of intermittent fasting and low carb in general aims to lower the blood sugar in the body, aims to lower the insulin, and aims to lower the inflammation in the body.
Okay, pero doktora, I'm sure hindi lang ako yung magtatanong nito. Marami sa karamihan po ng mga nanonood sa atin ngayon gustong malaman, affordable po ba yung ganitong paraan? Kasi syempre, to begin with, kanina may mga na-mention po kayo, different kinds of oil. Parang feeling ko ako nga guilty ako dun sa mga yung nasa kitchen namin, hindi ba? So meron kayong mga na-mention na I must say hindi ganun ka-common. Now, yung ganito pong practice, kaya po ba ng bulsa? I mean, hindi yung mahihirapan yung ating mga viewers na syempre lalo ng panahon ngayong pandemic, ako, ang hirap po ng buhay ngayon, di ba? Marami ring nawalan ng trabaho po.
Yes, as much as it sounds expensive, but actually hindi. Especially when you eat with fasting. If you can imagine, if I will show you my fasting tracker, and meron tayong fasting tracker. So, tina-track yan kung ilang oras ka na nagpa-fasting. So, right now, for example, my fasting is already at 19 hours. So, my last food intake was 7 o'clock. Actually, para sa akin, late na yon because I had dinner with my mother kagabi. Usually, hindi ako kumakain past 6 p.m. But last night, I ate around 6 p.m. So, here, total fast is 606. So 606. Can you imagine 606 fast na log? If we do like intermittent fasting dyan, so every day naka-fasting ako. So whenever I'm fasting, I'm an average of 18 to 20 hours. So at most, I only eat twice a day. And that is just one or two times a week. Generally, most times of the week, I only eat once a day. And with this fasting, may mga araw na to, now I log one fasting, but it's actually 4 days, it's actually 3 days, it's actually 7 days, it's actually 14 days. So, kahit on average na lang, I have saved 2/3 of meal time during the last 3 years. So,
Wow.
when you say, if it's expensive, I have saved a lot of money when it comes to food intake. But the most important part, for those who are not into fasting, okay? For those who are not into fasting but will just do low carb, expensive ba? Pinoy meal, platong Pinoy, it's all low carb. Gulay, isda, manok, baboy, karne, seafoods, itlog, lechon, okay? Bulalo. Those are all low carb.
Lechon, pwede?
Of course, as long as
Gusto ko yun.
ito yun. Walang kanin. Have you
Walang
tried
kanin.
lechon walang kanin?
Yeah. Mahirap yun. Pero, teka, wait, doktora lang, maisingit ko lang po ha, Doc Nap, excuse. Doktora, kaya lang po kasi like kanina, pati po dun sa time, no, di ba, may pinasok kayo sa intermittent po, no. Ang concern ko lang, paano po yung mga kapatid natin na syempre may mga may sakit, o kaya po ibang klase po yung kanilang working hours, especially po yung mga nagtatrabaho, say for example, sa mga call centers po, and yung mga, iba pa po, yung mga night shift po ang kanilang katrabaho. And syempre, sama na rin dito natin yung mga mag-aaral, di ba, yung mga students, yung mga
Yes,
college
very
students,
busy.
syempre, kailangan nilang mag-aral, usually sa gabi ginagawa. So, I mean, is it hard to follow such patterns po yung mga ina-advise natin?
Actually, hindi. The moment you learn the whole scope, of course, hindi natin yan mako-cover ngayon, but just know, like, personally for me, the only regret I have is hindi ko to alam nung nag-aaral ako for board exam, nung nag-aaral pa ako during med school, because I could have made my productivity 3, 4, 5 times more. Because the very important thing that we know, for those people na who cannot imagine of not eating more than 3 times a day, you have to realize that the quality of food that you eat makes you want to eat more. But only if you eat the right food, you can sustain eating 1 meal a day. If you are eating the right food during that day. Because it is the carbohydrates, it is the sugar, that if you keep on eating carbohydrates and fueling on glucose, then your body will be dependent on glucose, and every 2 hours, you will be hungry. And for those lang na may mga sakit na, of course, you have to do it the guided way, especially with medications. And just know na if you do it right, it could be the very thing that you need for you to wean off from that medications. Hindi man completely mawala, pero baka from 10, baka maging 5 na lang.
So basically, ang bottom line, we need to adapt dun sa mga bodily changes natin, di ba?
Yes.
And okay, so ang ganda ng mga sinabi ni Doktora, parang nagutom ako. Kaya lang, parang wala siyang minensyon na kanin, ano?
Oo nga.
Yung mga kilala ko talagang, naku, napakalakas sa kanin. Ika nga, rice is life. Naku, paano kaya yan, Doc Grace? Naku, bago niyo po ito sagutin, let's pause for a short break muna po. Magbabalik po ang
Doctors on TV.
Nagbabalik po ang Doctors on TV with me, Doc Sarah, my hardworking co-host, Dr. Nap Interior, and syempre ang ating root cause medicine specialist at low carb and fasting practitioner, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo.
Nako, yes, Doc Sarah, kanina dun sa naiwanan mong rice is life, talagang sa akin rice is life din, lalo na kapag unli. Ano? Kasi rice is very staple kasi eh. Pero how much is too much pa talaga, at paano kaya natin may iwasan yung sobrang consumption po ng nito, Doc Grace?
Okay. So, number 1 for me talaga, knowledge will empower you to say no. Okay? So, I would like to explain rice as to how too much is too much when we compare it to white sugar. Okay? Isang cup ng white rice is about, at minimum 40 gram na net carbohydrates yan. Rice, hindi siya matamis, matabang siya. Okay? But the moment it is already ingested, na lagyan na yan ng ating mga digestive enzymes, yung starch, it will be easily broken down into glucose. 1 teaspoon of white sugar is 4 grams of glucose. Okay? You can imagine eating 1 cup of rice, Doc Nap, di ba? How about 2 cups of rice?
Yes.
Okay. So, but can you imagine in one meal, like lunch, for example? Can you imagine consuming 20 teaspoons of white sugar?
No.
No, Doc. Para nakakasamid na ata yun para sa akin.
Sakit sa lalamunan, di ba? Parang hindi mo na kaya yan.
Knowing the fact na parang alam mo kung ano yung pwede, di ba lagi na lang kino-correlate ang sugar sa diabetes, hindi po ba? So parang feeling ko nga pag naglagay ng 2 kutsarita sa juice,
Sobra-sobra na.
Sobrang tamis na.
Oh, and it's because now we know that sugar is something pleasurable. And the moment na naramdaman nating masarap, alam natin bawal. Yung meron siyang ganong sensation. So you easily cut it off. But with rice, the danger of rice, it is so neutral, hindi nga ganon kasarap, wala nga siyang masyadong lasa. But why do you crave for it? Why do you keep on looking for it? Kahit bland yung kanyang lasa. Because it actually produces the same pleasurable feeling the moment it gets into your brain. The same thing a white sugar does. 1 cup of white rice is equivalent to 10 teaspoons of white sugar. So it's up to you.
Wow.
That is when talking about net carbohydrate content. So yes, rice, meron siyang kakaunting fiber. So maybe the way it spikes our blood sugar is not that high talaga, but eventually it will go up. So how to lessen it is just know what you are taking. So it's up to you. I am not into the habit talaga of really telling people what to do, but I give them the knowledge and the choice is yours.
Okay, so there you have it, Doktora. Maraming salamat po, Doc Grace, sa inyong oras. Naku, nag-enjoy tayo, Doc Nap, and I'm sure
Yes.
nakita very interactive yung ating mga viewers, no? Maraming salamat po sa nag-post ng kanilang mga comments, no? And Doktora, baka meron po kayong last words po para sa ating mga tagapanood.
Okay, sa mga tagapanood natin, if this somewhat confuses you o ano man, we have groups, we have our page to help you with that. And if you have to do it, please do it the right way. Marami kasi nga advocates, but I feel like it's not the best kind of practice. And sobrang sayang sa healing sana and improvement that they can get if only they do it right. But they remove all of those possibilities because what they followed is just the easy ones, the ones na sobrang dali, but it's actually not the best for their health. So do it the guided way, do it the right way, and don't be afraid to ask. So nandito lang po kami and I'll always be here to keep on helping you as long as I can. Maraming salamat po, Doc Sarah and Doc Nap, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Doktora Josephine Grace Rojo. And Doktora, baka can you announce your FB page again, and if you have any contact number na pwede pong ma-contact kayo ng ating mga viewers.
Okay, so they can just reach me on my page, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo, Instagram, ganun din, and also on YouTube and TikTok. Walang masyadong kwenta yon, pero The Diet Doctora, and Twitter also, The Diet Doctora. Yun lang po.
Okay, so basically, thank you very much, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo. And ako, sana, we're looking forward to having you here again. Ano po, napakarami namin natutunan, and I'm sure the viewers will agree talaga with us, no? And, Doc na, baka meron po kayong gustong pasalamatan, is greeting time.
Thank you, Doc Sarah. Una-una po, nagpapasalamat po tayo kay Dr. Grace Rojo sa pagbibigay po ng impormasyon sa atin at kaalaman sa tungkol dito sa low-carb diet at iba't ibang diet pa po. At syempre, nagpapasalamat din po kay Doc Sarah at sa Doctors on TV na tayo po ay safe. At welcome back po to Doc Sarah. Sobrang na-miss ka po namin, Doc Sarah. So, syempre po, nagpapasalamat din po ako sa laging nanonood po na girlfriend ko, si Mika Swansing. You can contact me po through Healthcore Medical Diagnostic Center and Skin Goals po, located at Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. Yan lamang po at good day to everyone.
Maraming salamat ulit sa iyo, Doc Nap, no? Ayan. And salamat po sa panonood ninyo sa Doctors on TV. Naku, sana po ay marami po kayong natutunan sa pagtutok niyo sa amin. And gusto ko pong pasalamatan ng Mestiza Soaps. Mestiza Soaps are made with natural ingredients and combination of vegetable and fruit extracts, which can also be used by children and safe for pregnant women. Good news is that it is cruelty-free and vegan beauty. So for inquiries and orders, you may contact 0969-1754231 hanggang 33, and ang kanila pong landline 8825 0924-5217 and 8813-0320. And gusto ko rin pong pasalamatan ang Organic Acai Berry. Support your health with a 100% organic superfood supplement. Organic Acai Premium Blend and Acai Freeze-Dried Capsules, rich in powerful antioxidants, fiber, amino acids, vitamin C, omega fats, and other essential nutrients that our body needs to help build stronger immunity against illnesses and help increase your energy. Organic Acai is available in all Mercury drugstores and other leading drugstores and supermarkets nationwide. And ang organic po ay meron din pong pang hot choco and coffee. And of course, sa ating partner po ang DepEd Santa Rosa sa pakikiisa sa ating adikain na maibahagi ang kaalamang pangkalusugan. At gusto ko rin pong pasalamatan ng Klinika Figura. You may contact 0917-317-7272 and ang Even Swiss of Eye Skin Laboratories. And of course, kay Dr. March sa San Joaquin, Sibayan. Thank you very much, Dr. March, for pinch hitting for me po. No? And syempre, pinasasalamatan ko po yung lahat ng nakatulong sa amin during the time na nagkaroon po kami ng ordeal. And mahal na mahal ko ang aking nanay, Dr. Celerina Barba, and Tatay Renato Barba. Magpagaling po kayo. And sa mga nanonood po, paambo na po ng adalangin para sa kanyang complete healing and recovery. Muli po, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Ito po si Dr. Sara Barba-Cabodil. Let's make it a habit to learn about good health only here at
Doctors on TV.
TV.